The following dramatization presents two ill-structured scenarios. It's not intended to model, but rather to promote critical reflection and group discussion on the challenges of working with families to make decisions following an unexpected life-threatening illness. In this scene, a stroke robs a patient of decision-making capacity and leaves the family with difficult choices to make. Using a family meeting, providers discuss prognosis and explore future treatment. As you watch the segment, consider the following questions. What is happening? What issues does it raise? What emotions come to your awareness? What implications does it have for how we practice?
Rose, everyone's here to see you today, hon.
The Reverend has you on the prayer line, so there's lots of people praying for you.
Even old Ethel Pruitt is sending off prayers for you, and you know how strong she prays.
And Jojo just won the intramurals. Tell Mom, Jojo.
I feel so stupid doing this. She can't hear us. She doesn't even know we're here.
We don't know that.
Excuse me, folks. Dr. Beckett is ready to see you in the family room now. I'll just wait outside till you're ready to go.
Well, that's where we are with Rose's treatment. Basically, we've had no response from her in the last week. Her periods of consciousness are not lucid. She doesn't understand anything. She doesn't appear to recognize anyone. Her recent CAT scan indicates the intracranial bleed has been extensive and large portions of her brain have been damaged. In the end, her condition has not improved. It's deteriorated.
And all the nurses who are caring for her say she hasn't responded to any outside stimulus lately.
But she blinked when I spoke to her yesterday. I think she's doing better.
That could have been just a reflex, not an acknowledgement of your presence, Mr. Baines. No, for all intents and purposes, Rose is not getting better. I believe that we should stop the treatment.
And what does that mean?
We'd like to remove the feeding tube.
So she'll just starve to death? You can't just pull the plug on her. That's my mom.
In her condition, she's dying anyway. At this point, we're merely prolonging the inevitable. As you know, your mother has had a severe bleed into the brain. When we started treatment, we had high hopes that she would recover. But so far, to this point, we've not seen any response to stimulus.
And the nursing staff reports that her periods of consciousness, the times when her eyes are open, are becoming shorter and far less frequent.
Dennis, are you noticing anything?
Well, I thought I saw her blink at me the other day when I was speaking to her.
Well, now, do you think she recognized you, or do you think it's just a reflex?
Oh. Well, I always talk to her, you know. Never used to be able to get a word in. No. I don't think she's doing any better.
It's only been a month. That's not very long. I've heard of people waking up after being in a coma for years. Mom could still wake up.
Perhaps if she were young and the brain had not been too severely damaged, then she might recover. Some people do that. But your mom has had very extensive damage to the brain. Have you seen any indications that she's improved?
No. Not really. When the nurses turn her, she doesn't open her eyes like she used to.
Joseph, what about you?
It's Jojo. And I think Mom's already gone.
So what do you think your mom would want now?
Well, I don't think she'd want to be hooked up to all those machines. She was a proud woman. She wouldn't want to be so helpless. There's no dignity. I hate seeing her like this. I think she'd want us to pull the plug.
Jojo is right about his mother. I remember in a conversation I had with her not long ago, she said that when the good Lord called her home, she hoped it would be quick.
Dennis, you don't agree?
It's not that I don't agree. In fact, we promised each other the same thing. No being hooked up to machines, dying with dignity and all, but that was when we were healthy. But this happened so fast. What if she changed her mind? I mean, you said people have recovered from comas.
Listen, you do not have to make any decisions right now. In the meantime, you and your family go home, talk about how your mother's treatment is proceeding and how you see it going on from here. And whatever your decision, we'll make sure that Rose is kept as comfortable as possible.
The segment highlights the ways in which care providers can help facilitate goals of care discussions with family members. A key question, like, what would she have wanted, can be helpful to allow families to speak and tell stories. It's the shared exploration of these stories that gives insight into a patient's possible wishes about goals of care. Giving the family a chance to express their concerns and hearing their assessment of the patient's situation engages the family in the decision-making process. It's important to be thoughtful and careful to use language that the family understands. Decision-making is a process, not a moment. In situations such as these, it sometimes takes a series of meetings, giving the family time to reflect, discuss, and adjust to the changing situation of their loved one.